What's up, world? It's your boy KP, and I got my man Mike the Expert. You're now tuned into the Two Player Sports Podcast. We bring you all things sports and a little bit of fun. Of course, we're here to talk about one of the sports that we like, and we consider it a sport. Yes, people do bet on it. It's Big Brother. Y'all know we watching Big Brother 26. This has been crazy season. The cyber season, I guess, has been one of the things they've been doing. So last week we talked about Quinn being HOH and who he put on the block. We're here to kind of bring you up to speed. Mike, just recap real quick. And if y'all missed it, the episode is right there. You can check it out. Who did Quinn put on the block?
Angela was on the block
Mm-hmm.
and Chemo.
Well, we had one other, but but
yeah, but they went off.
Yeah.
They got off the block or whatever.
Right. So this was finally now we've come now to Veto and we've moved on. And now we had to obviously make a change because Leah actually won and pulled Angela off of the block, which was an interesting move. What did you think about Leah pulling this stunt? I would say because Joseph asked her not to do it, and Quinn begged her not to do it.
Yeah. So just before I even answer that, the other person was Rubina.
Rubina.
Yeah, Rubina was the other person, and but before Rubina got off, and I mean Leah took Angela off the block with the veto.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think in Leah's perspective, the way that she came at it, it actually wasn't a bad move because Leah's a floater and Leah doesn't have many people around her. So
right.
Thinking that Angela would be a vote for her if Leah makes it to the final two, I can see why she did that. It wasn't going to hurt to keep Angela around. The only thing about that is Angela could keep sliding through every week, and actually make it to the final two. And if Angela makes it to the final two, she deserves the win.
Yeah, we said that in the last episode. For you to be basically the most disliked player this season, to be on the block, I believe now that would have been 4 times in a row and still survive. You definitely, and only win 2 HOHs, and you won 2 HOHs, but you won 2 HOHs. That definitely is a championship resume. Now, here's my thing. I agree that it could be a good move, but it also could be a bad move because Angela has no loyalty and continually blows up her game and everybody else's game.
Most definitely.
I don't really understand kind of doing this. I think I would have not used the veto just because it didn't really make a lot of sense. But at the same time, as a viewer, I'm glad she did it. It's something most interesting to watch. Now, Rubina pulled herself off in the AI competition, which ended up being the last AI competition of the season, which I'm glad. I mean, it was a good twist to start out, but definitely ready to see something else. Time to move on past the AI twist. Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Now, before the AI twist, Joseph got put on the block with the veto. So before the AI competition happened, just wanted to say Joseph got put on the block. Quinn made a disastrous decision by putting Joseph on the block because that was one of his guys, one of his final twos.
Right.
You don't ever want to risk your person. Pawns go home. So
this has been a weird season where they continually risk people that they're in close, proximity or even alliance with, people that are final twos or even final threes. They're putting on the block as pawns, and I'm not really understanding this gameplay. And both sides of the house keep doing it, and then they're surprised when the person they don't want to go home goes home, like i.e. Cedric. And I know, jumping ahead, Joseph ended up going home. And, Quinn's in tears because he's like, I had a final two with the guy, but why would you put him on the block? What have you been thinking about that strategy as you've been looking at it?
Yeah, well, I can't necessarily say it's been happening on both sides. It's been happening with Quinn.
Well, it happened with Tucker too, with Rubina. I mean, not Rubina, but T-Core. She put Tucker on, and Tucker was someone that she was in alliance with. And, that didn't, he ended up going home.
Yeah, it did happen with that. I don't think T-Core minded Tucker really going home, though, because Tucker was just such a big, threat. It was a chance, like, if the person she didn't want to go home didn't go home, then if Tucker went home, that still helps her game to get him out. But going to where we are now, I think Quinn just makes bad he makes bad moves because he's scared. He makes scared moves. He doesn't want to disrupt the house. He doesn't want to get any blood on his hands. So he risks his own people thinking that, oh, well, we got the numbers, they're going to stay in.
Mm-hmm.
And then his own
Mm-hmm.
people, they wind up going home and it winds up hurting his game. So I think he's just playing a scared game. If he kept his people off the block and just played unscared, then I think he'd be, better off.
And what's crazy, this is the second time this has happened to him. It happened with
Mm-hmm.
Cedric.
Exactly.
And for me, being a huge fan of Big Brother in the past, you've never seen people put someone up that's close in their alliance on the block.
Mm-hmm.
They never do it. They'll put someone else up, they'll deal with the consequences. And when you had the numbers, I'm not really understanding why you're scared of like rocking the boat or making someone upset. You already had the numbers.
Yeah, yeah. Well, people in Big Brother, they don't trust each other. Even the people that are on your team. And if you look at this season, alliances stay together for 2 days, basically. If even
Right.
that,
This
they
has been
break
the most
apart.
untrustworthy season of all time, I think.
Yeah, they break apart as soon as they make the alliances. They break apart and they're making other alliances. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, they don't stay together. But keeping it moving, like you said, Joseph, he got voted out. And it was a shock that Joseph got voted out. It was a last minute thing. Everybody thought that Chemo was going to be leaving the house, but
Mm-hmm.
people flipped. Mackenzie flipped, Chelsea flipped.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and
This
I
was
think it was a
interesting
bad move.
with Joseph. If you remember the conversation he had with Chelsea, where he actually said that he was the best player playing the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, by what standards, sir? You haven't won anything. Your social game is horrible. You never know what's
Mm-hmm.
going on. It was like he
Yeah.
was in a
Yeah.
whole other reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and of course, he was nowhere near the best player. I guess it is what it is with him. But he shouldn't have been out. They should have got Chemo out because you got to
Mm-hmm.
get rid of that 3-headed monster with Chemo, T-Core, and Rabina. You
I
got to
agree.
get rid of that 3-headed monster because they're the only crew, the only alliance in there that's actually sticking together. Everybody else is really on their own. I mean, you have Cam and Chelsea there, helping each other out, but that's just a little duo. Everybody else is pretty much on their own. They'll make alliances here and there, but it doesn't stick. That's the only one that's sticking. And everybody, because I watch the live feeds too, so everybody knows about this 3-headed monster,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't do anything about it. They always think, well, we can beat them anytime, or we like, no, you're gonna lose.
Well, what's going to happen is you're going to get out so many other pieces of the house that you won't have the votes anymore, which doesn't make any
Exactly.
sense. And then when
Exactly.
I look at it from this standpoint too, if you're Quinn, Chemo is already proven to be disloyal, so you should have really been pushing for him to go and never put Joseph in that situation.
Well, he did.
And
He
here's
was
what's
pushing
crazy.
pretty much.
Here's what's crazy. Okay, let's just say Leah uses it. You can't control what she does. Put someone else up that you're fine if they go home.
Exactly.
Mackenzie would have been a great option because you don't really have a game plan with her. Honestly, his best option would have been Leah because Leah's not loyal to him. They just, she hangs out.
No, his best option would have been T-Core.
That too,
T-Core,
yes. Yeah, now
yeah,
that would have been a great because one of them gonna go. And traditionally in Big Brother, that's what would have happened. We would have seen T-Core and
exactly,
Chemo on the block together, and somebody would have
exactly,
left.
exactly. T-Core doesn't even like Quinn anymore. T-Core, looks at Quinn as an enemy now. It's just Quinn doesn't know that. Quinn thinks that they still have this thing where they're not going to vote each other out and they're still watching each other's back. But he doesn't know that T-Core actually wants him out, and T-Core is going to push to get him out. So, yeah, T-Core is the person he needs to have up there. Leah, I don't think so much because he can actually have Leah in. Leah can be a number for him if he will grab her because she's really pretty much by herself. So if he can grab her and push her to his side, that can be a number for him.
That's why I said I thought Mackenzie made sense, just kind of given what I know that Quinn knows as opposed to what we know as an audience. So yes, as an audience vote, yes, T-Core is the best bet. But as what Quinn actually knows, Mackenzie would have been a good bet too, and he still would have kept Joseph in play, and you still would have Leah in play as well. Which, again, I don't really understand the gameplay of what's happening here. So of course, this has been a theme this whole season. These guys are so emotional every time they lose and break down. Like they're never going to see the person again. And we got the same thing with Joseph. And what kind of makes this interesting too, it seems like at the last minute, there was a switch because of Chemo's emotional speech. that he wanted to
Yeah.
be representative of his culture, obviously of being a gay man as well, and being Hawaiian and making it to the jury.
Yeah.
And it pulled on the heartstrings of Chelsea and Mackenzie, where they both flipped.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my question to you. Why did Chelsea not say that to Cam, though, right before the vote? I don't understand that. Like, Cam's supposed to be her right hand.
Yeah. I don't know if she respects Cam's game. You know, Cam is a number for her, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't think she really respects Cam's game. Cam hasn't made a lot of moves. He's just now starting to try to get into the groove of things. So, I mean, I just don't think the respect is there too much. And, she has there's a little bit of trust too. She thinks Cam is a little too close to Leah and Mackenzie and flirting and stuff. So it's just, you know, she's kind of thinking, I got him, but I don't have him because I think
Right.
his loyalty is with other people more than mine. So, yeah. So I think that's one of the reasons why she just didn't go, say anything to him. And she was, she just didn't play the game right.
Yeah, that was a
Uh,
bad move. If this
yeah.
is somebody that you are in close alliance with, you should have just gave him the heads up. And I don't think it would have been an issue because I don't think Cam really cared either way. I just think you give him the heads up. So speaking of that, now we know we get a new HOH. Shoot, big win by Chelsea. I think Chelsea had to win this because she was in such an awkward position from switching the
Mhm.
vote. So she wins HOH. Big win. It was funny to watch Angela suffer and
Yeah.
watch Rabina be terrible at it. And that was a
Mhm.
hard comp because there was a lot of things to remember. What did you think of that comp?
All right. Well, I mean, it was pretty much a hard comp. Not really a hard comp. You just had to remember a lot of stuff. Um, I was kind of doing the comp in my head as it was going on. I wouldn't have won, but
Did you do good at
I,
first? Because I did
I
good at first. I was
mhm.
pretty good in the second half. I'll just start guessing. I just like whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was doing all right, but I actually got better as it went along. I was messing up a little bit at first, and then I got better. I started winning as it went along, but I wouldn't have won the comp. I wouldn't have won the comp at all. Now, yeah, so it was a good comp. Chelsea won. She, became HOH. It's her second time. There's only two
Mm-hmm.
people in the house that won that twice. It's her and Angela.
Mm-hmm.
So, big ups to Chelsea for doing it. But now she has to make good moves that are going to help her and help, you know, whatever team she can gather around her. So yeah.
I'll tell you one of the funny things. So after everything went down,
Mm-hmm.
seeing Chemo and Angela both fake cry. I just wish
Mm-hmm.
somebody would say, yo, would y'all cut it out? There's no tears coming out of your face. Y'all are both sitting there bawling
Yeah,
and there's no tears ever with both of them.
yeah, they all crying fake tears, and I mean, so if I was HOH, I would just look for the person that I saw with the fake tears, and I'll put them on the block. I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. You're you're my target. You're going home. You know.
What also stood out to me, so Angela goes to oh man, it's escaping me right now. But Angela goes and makes a plea to Cam and
Mhm.
asks Cam to basically help her out
Yeah.
with Chelsea. And
Hmm.
Cam said, you should just go talk to her yourself. And
Yeah.
Angela does everything to avoid her, pokes her head in the room, and then
Yeah.
avoids her some more until Chelsea finally goes and talks to her. That was so
Hmm.
strange. I didn't really understand that.
Yeah. I mean, Angela's a strange person, and she was probably a little nervous to talk to Chelsea. She doesn't have that relationship with Chelsea, and she just figured if I get in good with Cam, her number one, everybody knows that's her number one. Then maybe Chelsea won't put me on the block. But of course, that wasn't going to work. Everybody knew Angela was going up. It was just like who's going up next to her. That's what everybody wanted to know.
Here's my thing with that, though. You don't have a relationship with Cam either. Why do you expect someone to play on your behalf? This is Big Brother. You got to play on your own behalf.
Hmm. Well,
So,
I mean, it wasn't a bad thing for her to try to do. Try to real quick build something with Cam real quick. You got to do what you got to do. And I got to give Angela credit, even though I'm not a fan of Angela. I'm not a fan of her antics, her all that crying. But I got to give her credit. Angela been getting put on the block week after week and has found a way to get off the block. Up
and
to
never
now,
quits. And been saved, what, three times now?
well, that was twice. I'm going to later on before this ends. There's going to be a spoiler, so I'm going to let you all know kind of what's going on. But there is a spoiler. I watched the live feed, so so I'm gonna give a spoiler before we get off. But yeah, so Angela, she's if she stays, she's gonna win. It's as simple as that.
So we kind of circle back around to Chelsea and Cam. Interesting conversation goes down where Chelsea actually debates to Cam's face of putting him on the block, saying that she believes Cam's ultimate loyalties lie with Leah, who he had a crush on for a little while, and Mackenzie. There seems to be some flirting going on now. They're always hugged up now. And I kind of felt like you let personal get in the way of game, because Cam hasn't done anything from a game standpoint to show that he's standing with someone over Chelsea. That hasn't happened at all. Every time he's been basically right there with her. Now, I know that Chelsea initially had a crush on Cam, and maybe it's hurting her that he don't seem to reciprocate that. He don't seem to be interested in that way. But I still think, hey, from a game perspective, he was riding out 100%. And now first you vote and don't tell him. And now you say, well, I question your loyalty. I don't really understand the move that Chelsea's making. I know she says she's trying to step out and do her own thing now, but you're stepping out in a way that could basically say to Cam, well, we're not each other's number ones. We're not a final two. Hey, when the opportunity comes, I'm not going to do anything. I'll let you go.
Well, the thing about that, that whole thing wasn't really totally about game. It was
it seemed personal.
Yeah, it was more jealousy than anything. She was jealous to see Cam. That's why when she saw Cam in the room laying his head on Leah and flirting and all that, she left
that was Mackenzie, because Mackenzie was rubbing his head.
Yeah, Mackenzie. I mean, he had his head on Leah earlier, and then Mackenzie. But I mean, she left the room. She got jealous. So the stuff she was saying to Cam, she didn't have any real true thought in her head about putting Cam on the block. She just was saying what she was saying, out of jealousy. She wants Cam's attention, and she's not getting it. He's just, not into her like that. So,
right. Well, I don't even know that Cam even knows that she actually ever had a crush on him. I don't know that he even knows that. I don't know if she even put it out there like that. From what we see on the show,
I'm pretty sure he can tell, though. I'm pretty sure
he's just not interested.
He can tell. Yeah, he's just not interested like that. I mean, she has to find him on one of those days where he's just like, hey, it is what it is. You're in front of it.
Well, it seems like those days have come and gone, because now he making other decisions. So, and I kind of agree with you, man. I think that she let the personal seep into the move where it could actually blow up something where I really felt like they were the strongest duo to make it to the end, and now it's really on the fence to me.
Yeah, no, I think they're still good. And like I said, I'm gonna give some spoilers here in just a minute. But before we get to the spoilers, we gotta talk about who Chelsea put on the block.
Yeah, so of course we had a good block ceremony and a lot of good meetings, and I actually like that she considered Leah, but I don't think this is the time right now. You want to keep the numbers in your favor. You put Leah on the block, you put Mackenzie on the block, you put Cam on the block. Now you've lost a number. And I think Quinn is the most expendable out of this alliance, because he's already proven he flip-flops and goes every direction. And I don't think it's time yet, but I do think you really have to try to get Chemo and T-Core out and split that up. That has to be your main focus. So I do like who she put on the block. Mike, let them know who she put on the block.
Put Angela and Chemo on the block. I think, that was good, putting Angela and Chemo on the block. Can possibly get Chemo out. Angela needs to go herself, but you should try to get Chemo out and break up that trio.
Yeah, I agree. I think my main focus would be to get Chemo out. And here's the thing. I might leave Angela in just a little bit longer, because right now you're a good shield. Nobody's paying attention that I've won 2 HOHs right now. They're so focused on your antics and how much they can't stand you. So I think what I would do is one, hopefully I win the power of veto, or someone in my alliance wins. Take Angela down, put T-Core up, and now you really hold all the cards. And I think my main goal would be to get T-Core out and leave Chemo in, because without her, he has nothing going on. I think T-Core is far more dangerous than he is.
Yeah, so that brings us into the spoilers then.
Excellent. Well, let's hey, before we go into spoilers, we appreciate y'all for watching this episode. If you don't want to hear the spoiler, we totally get it. Write your comments on what you want to happen. Who do you think should go out the house on eviction day? With all that being said, we don't gave you the warning. Spoilers coming. Mike the expert, take off on them.
All right, so the first spoiler is Mackenzie won the veto.
Wow.
Yeah,
This
so
this her second win, isn't it? Like that?
I think so. Yeah.
No,
so
she's won a veto and she's won an AI.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she did win an AI.
Mhm.
But so she won the power of veto, and at first it was like, oh, we keep noms the same, and then she was going back and forth with it. But then Angela, and like I said, if Angela gets to the end, she deserves the win because she always finds a way to get off the block. She convinced Mackenzie to take her off the block.
Wow.
She told Mackenzie, because Angela, she was up, she was laying down, watching everybody. She stays in that one area where you can see everybody that's still up and walking through. And she saw some of the people up. She saw Quinn. She saw T-Core. She saw Chemo. She saw like about four people. And Angela just was like, oh man, this is an alliance right here. They're an alliance. They're the ones up. They're talking.
She always sniff out alliances, don't she?
Yeah. But it really wasn't an alliance. But she thought that they were an alliance. She went to Mackenzie and told her about this so-called alliance, and Quinn is in the alliance, and this person, that person, all that. And you need to take me off the block, because if I stay on the block, I'm gonna go home. But we need to get that side out. So basically, she took Angela off the block. And they talked to Chelsea about this too. Same stuff she said to Mackenzie, she said to Chelsea. Chelsea believed her, and Mackenzie believed her. I don't know why you're gonna believe Angela, but so they put Quinn on the block as a renom.
Oh no.
Yeah, dummy. And they're gonna target is Quinn. So T-Core is gonna vote Quinn out over Chemo. Rubina is gonna vote Quinn out over Chemo. So that's two. Now you got the other side. Angela is gonna vote Quinn out because she's gonna go with the numbers.
And she's been wanting Quinn out.
Yeah. So that's three right there. Mackenzie's gonna vote Quinn out. So that's it. Quinn's about to be out.
That's crazy.
Unless between now and Thursday he can figure out what's going on and convince them to keep him and put Chemo out. But here's the issue. Mackenzie is saying, well, I know about the three-headed monster over there, Chemo, T-Core, and Rubina. And she's telling this to Leah, but because Leah's mad. Leah's like, why did you put Quinn up? It doesn't make any sense. But Mackenzie's like, look, I'm not worried about it. We still have the numbers and we still can beat them. Instead of, it just makes no sense. Mackenzie, Chelsea, they're making dumb decisions right now.
Here's the thing. How does it make sense? Out of the people on your side that's on your actual squad, only one of them's won HOH twice that you've just now aligned yourself with in Chelsea. Okay? Cam has won what? one veto? So you got what? Maybe, and Mackenzie's won 2 comps, right? So she's won a veto and an AI.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of and Leah's won nothing and not even got close.
No, Leah's won. Everybody's won at least one thing. I think.
Oh, she won a veto. She won a veto.
She won a veto. Yeah, everybody's won at least one competition.
But that doesn't make sense. You demolish the other side before you start making moves like that.
Exactly. Before you start putting your people out there. So Quinn's most likely going to go home. Although Chemo should be the one to go home, and Quinn shouldn't even be on the block. They messed themselves all up.
This has been Angela, the most
I gotta give it to her.
Confusing game of Big Brother ever, where continually they don't vote out the person outside of Tucker that you think should go out, and the obvious person that should go out. They always go way in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
As well as, here's the thing too: if you're Cam and Chemo to a certain extent, you let Quinn go. Now there's only 2 guys left.
Exactly. Well, that's the other thing that I was going to talk about is because there's kind of a women's alliance, kind of. It's not totally solidified.
Yeah, I remember that from the beginning of the game.
Yeah, but they're talking about it more now.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're like, we're sticking together. We don't want to get women out. So now in this situation, and Chelsea said it herself, she was like, well, if Quinn or Chemo goes out, that still keeps us with more women than men out. So from there, we can keep getting the men out. They're probably going to keep Chemo because they're like, we got the Girls Alliance and Chemo,
Right.
but Chemo might be the last guy that they actually throw out. So, yeah,
Man, I think if Chelsea does that and she somehow turns on Cam and he goes out, I think Chelsea's game will come to an end because none of those
she's going
people
to be
really
next.
have her back.
Yeah. Chelsea's going to be next because she's probably, her and Mackenzie are the strongest two females. So the first thing
Right.
they're going to do, yeah, Chelsea's going to go on the block and get out because Leah, she's going to, gravitate towards Mackenzie because she
Mm-hmm.
always talking to Mackenzie in that room. And Mackenzie's probably the strongest player of them. So, yeah, Chelsea's going to probably be the first one out.
Wow. Well, y'all get y'all popcorn ready because it's really getting interesting. So we want to know what y'all think of the game so far. Are y'all enjoying it? Who do you want to go on? Who do you want to lead the house? And who do you want to be next HOH? Let us know. Continue to like, share, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.